everyone, welcome back to another scrapbook layout, and thanks for joining me again today. Today I'm going to follow this sketch here that is by page maps, so if you want to look at the same sketch you can follow along. I'm not 100% crazy about this page, but I do like it and it gets the story told, which is actually a pretty funny story. So the sketch called for a main piece of paper and it's going to be mounted onto the back. So instead of taking like a pattern paper and cutting it down, I took the white cardstock and cut it down. And now I'm just looking for the few papers that I have. So this is a collection by Echo Park. I want to say, Imagine That or something like that by Echo Park, and this was the boy one. I think they had both a girl and a boy release. And then I was looking for which one I wanted to have as the background, and at the same time I was looking for one that I wanted to go on the page. So I really liked a few of these. I wasn't exactly sure which one I wanted to use. I'm going to go ahead and forgive me because I'm going to play along with you guys here, and it's been a little while since I've done this layout, so I don't remember everything that I did. So this red paper looks like a solid, but it's got patterns on it, so it's not completely solid. Just an FYI, if you're watching on a smaller screen, you might not know that. I have used this collection a few times. I know I've used it in the past. It's been a while. One of the things I just recently kind of went through and cleaned my room, and I will be doing a room tour soon. I'm finally to the place where I feel like I got everything a little bit tweaked. There's a couple areas that I'm not 100% crazy about, but you know, we're always tweaking and changing our spaces around. At least I am. I don't know about you guys, but I do that about as much as I scrapbook. But I'm super happy now with what I changed, and I will talk about that in the video. So won't be anytime super soon. You know, it's no school November, so if you have kids, you know that there's a lot of times in November where they don't have school. So I don't like to do videos when they are here, just because they can be noisy. So I'm going to go ahead and glue down my layout, and I'm going to go ahead, or I guess just this part of the layout, and I am using the Scrappy Tape method, even though I am mounting it on the back, but it just helps to kind of get this straight, which is, it's going to help even more because I think I kind of start to stick it. Oh, no, maybe that was another layout. I've done this a couple times where I've started to stick it and it just is not, it still starts to go on straight, so I kind of have to gently pull it back up. So this Scrappy Tape, though, once it sticks, it sticks. So it's almost worse than ATG, I think. So now I'm just playing along, and I do follow the sketch fairly closely. I do tweak a few things to kind of work for me. I have this picture, and it's kind of a funny little story. So you see him, and this is my youngest son. I can't remember the year now, but we were going on a walk, and it was evening time. You can probably tell in the picture that it's darker outside, and if you're like me, the mosquitoes love me. I don't know what it is about mosquitoes and me, but they love me. And I know there's some people out there, they just like some people more than others, and I'm one of those people. So thumbs up for sure if you are one of those people, because oh my gosh, they eat me like crazy, right? So we were going on a walk, and I can't remember what exactly I said, but it was along the lines of, you know, oh, I hope the mosquitoes aren't going to get me, or maybe I saw a mosquito, and I'm like, oh, basically I made some kind of comment about being worried the mosquitoes were going to come out and start biting me, so I didn't want to go on a super long walk or something like that. And my little guy here, and it was so random for him to say, but he says, "Don't worry, Mom, my muscles will scare away those mosquitoes." And it was so hilarious and so kind of random for him to say. I mean, he's a little boy and he's definitely into the imagination and things like that, but it was like, I also really loved it because I felt like my little boy is my little superhero, you know, he's my protector. He's going to scare away those mosquitoes and protect his mom. So I've been wanting to scrapbook this photo for a long time. I liked this collection. You're going to see, first of all, I'll talk about the title and then I'll go back to that story. I wanted to use a title with all different kinds of fonts. It's going to say, "Don't worry, Mom, my muscles will scare away the mosquitoes," I think is exactly how I say it. I can't remember for sure. I am writing down the word mosquitoes right here just to make sure I spell it right, and I use Siri just to make sure. I thought I had it right, but I just wanted to be sure. So I am just pulling out a bunch of different fonts. I'm looking for a red because that red pattern paper is behind the photo. So I need kind of a deeper red. I liked that font that's on there now that you can see at the very bottom of that pile, the thin thickers. Those are thin foam stickers. But they are a little bit too red. And I was also looking for a blue that was kind of the same, but I don't have a lot of blue. So here I am. I was trying out that red, but like I said, it was just a little too brighter, and it probably would have worked, but it just wasn't what I was looking for. So again, I'm just digging around for more, and now I'm pulling out black because I thought, black's going to work with anything, so I might just have to make black work. And I knew I had the same thickers in the black font, so I went ahead and tried that. I'm going to go ahead and put this font now, and this is the part of the layout that I'm kind of not 100% crazy about. I feel like, I don't know what it is I don't like about the whole title and the way it comes together. I don't know. I'm not crazy about it, but as we work along, I'll tell you what I'm not crazy about. I do have this one thickers alignment ruler, whatever. This is made for putting your alphabets on, and so you can kind of line them up. And also be careful, really quick, I'll tell you, if you have foam thickers, be really careful when you pull them off, because for some reason foam thickers are the only thickers out there that seem to actually want to stick years after you bought them. And they want to stick so much that a lot of times they don't want to come off of the backing sheet. So just be a little careful with your foam thickers when you go to pull them off. And I'm also going to change the the F to an E. Now here's where I struggled a little bit, because I wanted the title to go along the right hand side first of all. I didn't really want it to go underneath, and I didn't want the word mosquitoes. You can see there that the only place that it really fits is underneath the photo without going off the white cardstock. So I didn't know. I was kind of messing around with that a little bit. So then I decided to try, I hope I don't did I spell muscles right? Did I spell muscles right? I'm going to have to look that up. Hang on for a second. So no, it looks like I spelled muscles wrong, and currently it looks like it says muxless. So muxless. I will have to go back and fix that. I guess here's one good reason that I do scrapbook layouts on YouTube. I probably would have never paid attention to that, which is funny because I even used Siri at the time. And I know the S comes before the C. I think I was just so busy trying to figure out my layout and everything like that. But I will fix that, just so you know. So I decided to go with muscles with that black font, because it did fit in the white cardstock between the photo and the right hand side. And now again, I'm just going to play around with these different fonts. I do have this kind of navy blue. These are jelly bean soup, if you can't see. Again, I'm just kind of playing around. I kind of wanted to start at the beginning. So what I was thinking while I was doing this, I wanted to start at the beginning of the phrase so I would know how I wanted the fonts to be for what words, which I guess I could have done this on wax paper. So yeah, there's that, but I just didn't. I'm not usually one to use wax paper to move my titles around. I kind of just put them on there, and if they work, they work. If not, I pull them up. But when I started, then I knew I wanted the larger words or the bigger fonts for like the word mussels and mosquitoes, things like that. So I went ahead and just started with the word mussels, which kind of changed. It ended up working out space-wise. It ends up working out fairly well. But then I didn't know if I wanted to put two words beside each other, like "Don't worry, Mom," or like the word underneath Mom is "my." I didn't know if I wanted that next to the word mom. I didn't really want it to have that road look, you know, where everything's in a row. Like if you're typing something and you put it to the left hand, you know, and it all goes out that way. I didn't really want that look, but anytime I tried to kind of put two words together, it didn't look right, like it had a bunch of empty space. So I just went with this, and I figured I would just play around a little more, and you will see I am going to change. So I'm putting these letters down, and I'm trying to use the same font more than once just to kind of help pull everything of this title together. So I have Don't Worry Mom, My Muscles Will Scare. So the word mom and scare is the same font. I'm using a couple of these gray fonts here that I'm going to use a couple different times, and I'm glad to get these used up. You can see I've really started to use these up, so that was awesome for this too. So I'm writing will scare away the, so you can see with the words away and the, I am putting those beside each other. So I liked how that looked. I didn't want, like I said, I didn't want it all to be coming off in one single row. So I had to dig for more because I want, as much as I wanted to use that, I wanted to use a font that was bigger and that would show up more like the one I used for muscles. And maybe that's another thing I don't like about this layout. Maybe I should have used this same font for the word muscles as well. But because the word mosquitoes was so much longer, this is kind of the font that I found that would work. And luckily I had all the letters. So I kind of liked the way, this is like a black font with like a white outline in the middle. So looking at it now, what I don't like, one thing I'm going to change is that red. So the word under mom, which is my, is with that dark red blocky font. I do change that. I just decided that that was too red and drew too much attention to that one word. So I'm going to take these red ones here because I wanted red in the, you know, in the title as well. So now I don't mind it as much, but looking at it now on the video, other than not only totally spelling the word muscles wrong, I think what that might be, what I don't like about it is that word muscles is just so thick and vibrant. It's like it's what your eye goes directly to. But at the same time, I'm kind of okay with that because that was a big part of the story. I'm not going to change it other than I am going to go back and spell muscles right. I don't want the story to be, I don't want somebody to look at the layout, you know, 5 years from now and think the story was that he said the word wrong or couldn't say the word right. You know how kids say things a little bit funny. So I will fix that. And after I finished with my clusters, I like it a little more as well. But yeah, I think that title just really kind of threw me off. But the main important thing to me is I did get this, I got this layout like documented and the story told. So that made me happy. And I mean, because it was just a hilarious, it was just so random for him. I mean, he was into superheroes a little bit and things like that, but it was so nice he was going to protect his mom. So one reason I wanted to use this collection was because of the few of these things that say. The one down there that says no bad guys allowed. I didn't really like those two together, but I really liked there's so much awesome in in this little boy, or however it's worded. I thought that went really well because he's such a little boy, but man, he's going to protect his mommy. And the no bad guys allowed, I really wanted to use that because, you know, he's saying, hey, these mosquitoes are bad guys. You're just not allowed here. This is my mom. So that's one thing I really wanted to use as well. So I was happy to, most of this page, I put it together because of what the thing said. Up top, I can't remember what they say at the top, but I know like the superpowers loading or something like that. I thought that was awesome because, you know, he's ready to protect his mom again. And then I found this guy here. So this guy had a cape. My son's not wearing a cape, I don't think. He did have a few shirts with some capes, but I don't know if the one he's wearing, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have one on in this picture, but I really liked that superhero guy. And not only that, but I don't have a lot of pictures that I could use that superhero guy with. So I placed him down here on the right hand side, and he actually kind of looked really good there. So he's going to stay there. I was kind of surprised because I really wasn't intending on bringing anything over to the right hand side. I am leaving that whole space underneath the title and the photo and in between those two clusters just for my journaling, because I have a lot of journaling, and that's the biggest thing I want to deal with this layout was that what he said. I should have put quote marks. Thinking about it now, I could have put quote marks around the title, but I'm not even going to worry about it. The layout's done, so I won't go back and do that or anything. But I did add, if you just saw, I added that little circle star piece of ephemera after the word my to kind of fill in that area. And not only that, but to also bring over some of that blue color, because I have red and I have blue, like the dark blue and the black in the cluster, or I mean, excuse me, in the title. I wanted to bring a little bit of that kind of tealish blue over there, so I went ahead and did that. And now I'm adding the date stamp, and I think that's maybe about it. I'm going to take this light gray pen. I have this light gray pen, and I like to use this when I don't want to erase. So if you want to do journaling and you don't care about erasing the lines, but you want some straight lines to write on, that's when I use this really light gray pen, because it's just very subtle, but at the same time, you don't have to, it kind of looks like a pencil. It's almost the same color as a pencil line, but it's gray. So I like to do that when I have a lot of journaling. So now I'm just looking at the brads to see if there's any, these brads. There was another one I wanted to use, but that's okay. So here's a couple close-up of the couple of the clusters and the title, and you can kind of see how it looks. And don't worry, I will fix that title. So I hope you guys like this layout. This was definitely a great story, and I had so much fun doing it. So thanks for watching, guys. I will see you next time. Bye.